As requested, here is a in-depth makeup tutorial. This is my everyday look, so I'm going to go in with the Benefit Cosmetics brow wax just to add some color to my brows because I barely have any. And then I'm going to take the NYX brow glue just to put them in place. Y'all know this is my favorite primer. I ran out. I got some more. Thank you, One Size, because I love that product so much. I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Halo Glow. And this is really just, it's not a foundation. I don't put it in the category of a foundation. It's very lightweight. I love it. So I'm going to blend that in with my beauty blender. I feel as though it works best when I use a beauty blender. Then I'm going to go in and contour my face using the Black Opal. Love this product too. Like a lot of my products, I swear by them. I use them in all my routine. And yeah, that's just how I do things over here. Now, you probably ask me, Brittany, why are you going in with 3 blushes? Because I can and I will. So I love the Juvia's Place liquid blush, and so I mix about 3 different shades just to get the shade that I wanted to go for. And then y'all, this concealer by Milani Cosmetics. Y'all are asleep and y'all need to wake up because it is one of the best concealers on the market. Buy it. Let them know Brittany sent you because, honey, it's tea. It's the teaest of all teas, okay? So I'm blending in my concealer, and then I'm going to go in with my Derma Blend. This is just my everyday powder because I like more of like a loose powder that's not too heavy on the face, especially if I'm going to be wearing makeup for a long time. As much as I love makeup, I hate the feeling of makeup, and so this powder really does that for me. Going in with the Juvia's Place bronzer. I love how smooth and buttery this product is. I use it on myself and my clients all the time. I've been trying out the new Fenty blushes, and let me tell you, they did not come to disappoint. I am going to add Milani on top just to give it kind of like a glowy finish. And then I like to apply my lash glue before applying my lashes. I feel like that's what keeps them in place. All my lashes I get from AliExpress, majority of them. Going in with the detailing pencil from Benefit, I'm going to finish out my brows. I've been loving a more natural look when it comes to my brows. This is the first time I'm actually using this lip liner from Laura Mercier and their this color in their lipstick, but I love it. I love it. I normally go for a nude lip whenever I'm doing my everyday look or just a natural lip color. I like to enhance my face tags, so I go in with a brown liquid liner from NYX Cosmetics to do so, then apply my Juvia's Place setting spray, and then pressing that into my skin once that has set a little bit. Finishing up the look with some highlighter, and then just setting the face with the One Size setting spray just to lock in that makeup. And yeah, that's the final look. That is my go-to everyday look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.
Look, I don't think it's possible, bro. I can't go, bro. I like to stay up out the mix. I don't want. I don't think it's possible, bro. I can't go, bro. I like to stay up out the mix. I don't want no smoke. I don't think it's possible, bro. I can't go, bro. I like to stay up out the mix. I don't want no smoke. I paid it off with all cash. I don't want no. You really good at everything but I don't want your throat. I don't want that. Matter of fact, I want your friend. I'm allowed to switch. I'm really tired of being in the stew, bro. I'm about to quit. Somebody call my A&R now. Tell them get me out of here, cause I'm about to flip. Bad bitches in the B&B. I'm okay with that. Niggas hear your song and turn it off. We don't play it back. I'm waiting on my money. Why you playing? Just pay it back. And no, we not together. Why the f keep saying that? 30 Crown Street, bro, I know where you staying at. You shot the wrong person, who the f was you aiming at? I'm talking to a label, what's the name? I ain't saying that. A Zeddy feature about $100, who paying that? She gon' take a plan, she don't wanna have no baby yet. I'm trying to figure out when I'ma move, I ain't ready yet. You don't got a big back, I would say that you heavy set. I'm a playmaker, I be passing like Jerry West. 30 Crown Street, bro, I know where you staying at. You shot the wrong person, who the f was you aiming at?
right. So this is what everything looks like. Okay, before we even get started, I did my skin prep. The first thing that I put on my face that I have on right now, like this luminosity that you see, this is from Miss Maya Beauty. It's an olive tone corrector. I put it on my face because my face is, it's all different kinds of shades. It just evens out any uneven tone that you have, illuminates the skin. I put it on the middle parts of my face right here. You see that? I take my favorite Milk makeup brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. You see how it's like not orange, it's very neutral, it's very olive tone. I really need that. Next thing I'm gonna go in is with this Glow Fusion by Kiko Manalo in the shade number 1, Platinum Rose. Right here, I love to make my cheekbones pop. Okay, do you see that cut? Okay, my girl Tara dropped this. This is like a concealer and a color corrector all at once. Doesn't crease, it's semi-matte, super nice, I love it. Take some out. Put that in there. A little bit goes a long way with this one. I pop it right under here, right under here. Again, so I cut my face here, here. Try to get down to here, a tiny bit here. Okay, for the makeup tea, I use the Sephora Collection Velour Puff. It's the best Velour Puff, okay? And I use this corner because look at how dirty, right? It's not wet, it's dry. Look at it. Like, that's crazy, no? Okay, this is my base combo. I first go in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint in the shade 12, medium tan. Put it right here, right here, right there. See here, I keep the skin bare. Like, I don't really put much there. A little bit right here and right there. Tear concealer, okay? The best. It's the Hide and Glide Blurring Concealer. I use this side. Look, it's almost done. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's almost done. Right here. Now you wouldn't even think anything's going on, but it is. Like, look at that. Okay, now I take the liquid side right here and put right on top of the Milani. This has been the most gorgeous formula for me, like you don't get it. Like, skin, you know, pay attention. It's school time. Beauty school. Some of you didn't go, but I'm here. Okay. Like, so flippin' easy to blend out. Before, after. What do you know about it? Nothing. I'm sorry, I'm getting sassy. I don't know why. And then I go in with my Velour Puff and make sure nothing's on it, just the Velour Puff, dry. I dab everything in, make sure everything's in its place. These are the blushes that I use. I've been super into mixing blushes, especially like watching Orlandria and Painted by Esther. Like, you don't understand. It's exudes something in me. Okay, I use, by Kiko Milano, I use the So Chic Trio blush in the shade 02. It's like a peachy, corally type of a blush. I pop it right here. This is the Patrick Ta 4 highlighter brush. I take this dense side and I dab it out right here. I mean, you don't have to do this. This is just a new blush method I've been doing. You can just use the Rhode one, Toasted Teddy. It's super nice. It's super pretty for brown skin. Like, I love it. I'm gonna show you in a sec. First, I'm gonna go in with the Rhode blush in the shade Freckle. It's a super light blush and it fuses everything together so nicely. This is so pretty, so pretty. You don't understand. I go crazy with this. I love these type of colors. It's so sunburnt, toasty. I like coral, pinky coral shades. It looks so nice. Oh, yeah. And then I'm gonna take that Patrick Ta highlighter brush. Just gonna take a little bit here, pop it on my nose, and I'll lift that up there. And then whatever I have left over on the brush, I'll just dab a little bit more out and put a little bit more in, and I will just pop that ever so politely, just at the top of my eyes like that. Take out the rest of the bit and just pop it at the top of my forehead. The same Velour Puff, the same side that I blended the concealer out with. I'm just gonna dab it out. For my under eyes, I use the same shade that I use all over my face, which is a 8.30, and I use the 6.5N. So I put that one right there. I know what you're thinking, Sam, that's dark. I know. It's all about the tones and the undertones. If the undertones and the tones aren't right, your makeup's not gonna look right. You're gonna look crazy. Not crazy, it'll just look like makeup. For me, I like everything to look seamless. I like everything to look like skin. Enough on there. Some more here, put a little bit on there, a little bit on there. The first thing I'm gonna blend out is right here. Look at how nice. Do you know what I mean? Blend it out here. Okay, now I go in with the House of Lab, the Color Fuse Glassy blush balm in the shade Glassy Clove. Super like a, it's like a bronzer, but like, no, I used the wrong brush. Oh my god. Now I take that Sephora, I take the Velour Puff again, and I blend out the edges. I usually go in with my Pat McGrath powder, but I have this little bit left. I'm saving it for my best friend's wedding. It's my favorite powder. So also, this is my favorite powder that still has talc in it, I'm pretty sure. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder in the shade Medium. When you blend out your concealer with the Velour Puff, you find you don't need as much powder, you know? Like, really, like I still don't need to do all that. Then I'm just gonna lightly set my under eye right here. Smile line some more. Take a brush like this, like any brush really, I take it. I will just do that. I won't put any powder here because I want to keep the glow, so I'll just dibble dabble it. Take a Q-tip and I soak it with some micellar water. On my lips, right here. The excess that I have on my nose here, I just take it off, create that natural shadow. I use 2 different bronzers for 2 different things. I first go in with the Hourglass Ambient Lightening Powder in the shade Transcendent Light. This is actually not a bronzer. I think it's just like a baked, or maybe it is, I'm not sure, but I use this, okay? And then I take a brush like this, okay? This is from Morphe. It's the Ariel collab. And I, look at that, oh my lord. It just adds such a pretty, like, within type of a bronze. Like you were just on Love Island in Fiji for 6 weeks. And I always hold the brush here. I don't hold it here, it's too harsh. Right here. I'm gonna squeeze the brush like that, okay? And then I'm just gonna bring that down. Like right there. Cut it, you know? Like this is a MAC brush. I take it. Super cute. This is the Kosas Escape the Sun Show bronzer. It's a baked bronzer, so, you know, it just looks super, just super nice. I'm gonna put it right there. Okay. Did you think I was done with the bronzing? No. Now I'm going in with the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer in the shade Butter Days. And I take this, right? So pretty. And then I take that and I pop it under the eyes. Just like so. Take a little bit on this little brush. Like that. Do you think I was done? Now, it's the Kaleidos Mono Blush in the shade Pale Rose. It's like a purpley pink, very muted, very good for olive skin tones. Clean that, sorry, I'm gonna clean that part up. So, what I'm gonna do with okay, this is the Kylie Cosmetics Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Pecan. Right? And then I Toasted Teddy by Rode by Hailey Bieber, and this is Kylie, they're friends. Okay, let's collab. Hi, hello. Look at how pretty, oh my god. Oh, I forgot to put this on. Ah! Now I'm gonna go in with the Jason Wu Faux Freckle pen. This is like the most natural faux freckles I've ever used. I've dibble-dabbled with faux freckles a lot. And I'm gonna go in and use this shade, Urban Decay Moon Dust Space Cowboy Quad. Moment. It's so pretty, so delicate. Oh. To melt all the powder, I'm going with the Tiri Tiri Mask Fit Makeup Fixer. Drench it, girl. I go in with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Spray. This has been my go-to makeup. Okay, this is what it looks like in natural home lighting. I'm just on my bed. Or direct light in my house. This is what it looks like in my bathroom lighting. And this is what it looks like in natural evening lighting. It's evening now, but oh my god, yeah. That's the tea.
got me, myself, and I. My thoughts have cried 1,000 times. I can regret.
Say this with all humility, but I personally believe I have one of the best bases on this app, and it comes from years of trial and error and practice. Let me show you how I achieve my flawless base that looks flawless on camera and in real life. It doesn't have flashback, and it's gonna last all day. And of course, it's dark skin friendly. My holy grail priming duo is the NaturalMakeup Blurring Balm Powder and the Water Powder Serum. Some people have asked me which one you should apply first. I personally like to use the Blurring Balm Powder first, and I apply the balm on my entire face, and then I like to take the serum and apply it right on top. I'm focusing the serum more in the areas that I get the most oily, so for me that is my T-zone and kind of just the center of my face. Next, I'm going to color correct. I'm using the Morphe Wake Up Artist color corrector in the shade Cinnamon, and I'm applying this to any of the areas that I have hyperpigmentation so that this hyperpigmentation doesn't peek through our foundation and give it a gray cast. Next, I like to go in with my NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I use this to spot conceal any blemishes that I have, and I also use this to conceal my eyebrows. And I just like using a flat little tiny eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to apply it to any dark spots that I have or blemishes. And then next I'm just going to conceal my eyebrows. I like to do this after I apply my primer, and I personally like to conceal the top and the bottom. Today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation. I'm in the shade 370. I like to apply it to my skin first with my finger, and I kind of spread it in a thin layer. I feel like doing it first with your finger before you use your brush really helps it to blend in easily, and we do not skip the forehead over here. And then I always blend my foundation down my neck. Ever since I got it, I have been obsessed with the Too Faced Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick. It smells like chocolate, which is so pleasant, and I'm in the shade Chocolate Espresso. I think this is the creamiest bronzer that I have ever used. It just melts and blends into the skin so easily. It is completely foolproof, and it doesn't look muddy at all. I absolutely adore the Haus Labs blush sticks. This one is probably my favorite one. It's in the shade Glassy Watermelon. It's this pure red shade, and I apply it to the high points of my cheek like this. I'm also going to mix in some of this pink shade. This is the shade Glassy Pitaya. Such a stunning pink color, and I'm applying this closer to the apples of my cheeks. I love going in pretty heavy with my blush, and I'm going to start with the red shade first, and using tapping motions I'm just going to blend that out, and then we'll move closer to the pink shade. And though this is on the apple of my cheek, I am blending this up closer towards the red shade. I'm not dragging this down my face. To know me is to know that I love blush, so I will always apply it in abundance. I also like to go back in with my foundation brush and just tap over the edges of my base to make sure there are no harsh lines and everything is nicely blended together. Now I'm going to go in with my concealers. I have been obsessed and in love with the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer, and I always use two shades, one shade to conceal and one to brighten. First, I'm going to go in with the shade NR15. This is my concealing shade, and I apply to my under eyes, avoiding the innermost corner, and then I go above my lid and in the center of my chin. I also like to apply to the center of my forehead. The brightening shade I'm using is NY12, and I'm applying this under my eyes, in the innermost corner, the bridge of my nose, and then I do kind of like to mix this in with the other shade on the center of my forehead. I'm someone that really values the longevity of my makeup, so I like to apply a setting spray before I blend out my concealer. This is the Morphe Jumbo Continuous Prep and Set Mist. I absolutely love this. And now I'm going to let it dry down on my skin. I'm going to let it dry down with the concealer. I'm going to be using two concealer brushes. This first one is from NaturalMakeup. I'm going to use this to blend out the concealer on my face. I like to blend out my under eye last, so I'm going to blend out every other area of my face. I also like to go back in again with my foundation brush and just kind of tap along the edges to make sure everything flawless with no harsh lines. I also like to blend the concealer on my nose with my finger because this is such a precise application. I don't want this to spread out too much. And then I grab my foundation brush and just blend along the sides again so that we don't spread it out. And now I'm going to blend in my concealer. I'm going to blend the darker shade first, and then I'm going to blend the inner corner with my second concealer brush. This is a Rare Beauty concealer brush. If you're familiar with my content, then you're familiar with my powder routine. I like to use a pressed powder and then a loose setting powder. My favorite pressed powder lately has been the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I use the shade 310 to set under my eyes. I'm going to use a tapered powder brush to apply this. Sometimes I use a powder puff. It really just depends on my mood. So what I like to do is look up into my mirror, blend out any creases, and then without looking down, set my under eye with my powder. I like to go in with a couple layers of this. I probably use like maybe 3 layers of pressed powder just to make sure everything is completely set into place. And then I'm also going to use my pressed powder. Ooh, we just hit pan. I'm going to set every area that I applied my concealer. I like using this shade to do this because it maintains the dimension that highlighting the face adds. The face is not one-dimensional and we don't want it to look flat, so we're going to keep all the highlighted areas highlighted. Next, I'm going to go in with my One Size Turn Up the Base Powder Foundation. Clearly, I love this as well. And using a fluffy powder brush, I'm going to set the rest of my face. Depending on the finish you want, you can go in light or heavy with this. I typically like a skin-like to matte finish. I also have oily skin, so I like to go in pretty heavy with this step. I'm avoiding the areas that I added the brighter shade of powder. And to make sure, again, there's no harsh lines between our powder, I'm going back in with the brush I used to apply the lighter shade, and I'm just tapping over the edges to kind of smooth those edges out, the same way we would do with concealer. Next, I'm going to go in with my loose setting powder. I've really been enjoying peach setting powders. This is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in the shade Ultra Peach. And using a powder puff, I'm going to apply the powder. I always make sure to smooth that out in the palm of my hand so that we have an even application. And then I like to reverse contour the side of my nose and then go in and apply the powder under my eyes. I also like to bake my upper lip and where my smile lines are, down the bridge of my nose. And then I like to add a very light layer on my forehead because my forehead gets quite shiny. I also get asked how long I like to bake for. This does tie into the next step. Next, I'm going to apply my powder bronzer. Today I'm using the House Labs bronzer in the shade Kaya Spice. This gives the most beautiful warm bronzy look, and I leave my powder on to bake for as long as it takes me to apply my powder bronzer. I really like this House Labs bronzer because it has a really nice skin-like finish. As you can see, it has a little bit of luminosity to it because it is a gel powder formula. I love applying to the perimeter of my forehead. I just love how a bronzed forehead looks. And then of course I'm gonna do my jawline. I also like to use the excess powder on my powder puff to carve out my cheekbones after applying my bronzer. And then I like to immediately dust it off because this area of the face is not somewhere that is highlighted. There's more shadows here. I'm just going to press the setting powder into my under eye as much as I possibly can, and there is going to be excess powder. All I do is I take the powder brush I used to apply my lighter setting powder and I use this to blend and dust away all of the excess powder. I really like blending it into my bronzer. It just gives more of a flawless look. To melt the powders and again to ensure longevity, I'm going to use my setting spray again, and then I'm going to fan this down until it's completely dry. And now I'm going to contour my nose. I'm just going to follow the lines that have formed from my reverse contour while baking, and I'm going to blend it up towards my brow bone because I have a naturally prominent bone here, so I just blend it into this area. And then I like to apply bronzer to the bottom of the nose and then over my nostrils as well. And then I like to kind of emphasize the natural contours I have on my nose. Next, I'm going to go in with my blush. Today I'm using the Tower 28 X Tony Bravo blush in the shade Sunset Shirley. Ever since I got this, I cannot stop reaching for it. It is just the perfect shade of red. I'm applying it to the high points of my cheeks closer to my temples. And like I said, I absolutely love blush, so I'm applying it very generously. Similar to how we did with the cream blush, I'm going to mix in this pinky shade. This is Dragon Fruit Days from House Labs, and I'm going to apply closer to the apple of my cheek, and I'm also going to use this shade to blend my under eye into the deeper shade of blush. And using an extremely light hand, I'm just going to blend these two areas together like this. This will make sure we don't have this harsh line from where we applied our blush and our under eye. This makes your makeup look really professional and so flawless. I feel like it's one of the things that people notice first about your makeup. So really take your time with blending this and make sure everything is very seamless. I also like to use a brighter powder to highlight my under eye some more. And using this little Kosas face detailer brush, I'm going to apply this to the innermost corner of my under eye. I'm really going to focus it in this area, and then any of the excess product on my brush, I'm going to lightly sweep downwards to kind of blend this into the blush as well. By the way, this is the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade shade NW20. The brightest part of the under eye should be the innermost corner. And then if I need to, I do go back in with my blush brush that I use to apply the pink blush. I like to go in again with my Morphe setting spray to melt all these powders together. I also always finish off my base with a setting and a fixing spray, again to ensure longevity. I'm starting with the Charlotte Tilbury. I am nearly done with this. I love this setting spray so much, and I'm gonna let this dry down. And then I'm gonna finish off with a fixing spray. This is the One Size Until Dawn setting spray, and this is my completed base routine. Smooth, flawless, and it's going to last all day. I hope you learned something new. Let me know if you try it.
Hey. Is it Stacy? Is it Becky? Is it Keisha? Is it Ashley?
I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church shoes. Really point two just to hurt you. All red lamb just to tease you. None of these toys on lease to. Made your whole year in a week too. Main bitch out of your league too. Side bitch out of your league too. House so empty, need a centerpiece. 20 racks the table go from ebony. Cut that ivory into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face when I love my baby. You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see a shade. Switch on my side like a lane. Switch on my core, fuck with anything. She hit the grocery shop looking lavish. Star Trek roof in the Wraith the Con. Girls get loose when they hear the song. 100 on the dash, get me close to God. We don't pray for love, we just pray for cause. House so empty, need a centerpiece. 20 racks the table go from ebony. Cut that ivory into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face when I love my baby. You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see a shade. Switch on my side, I take any lane. Switch on my core, if I kill any pain.
How to layer your makeup: foundation, concealer, liquid bronzer, brightening concealer, liquid blush, setting powder, powder bronzer, powder blush, highlighter, lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss, setting spray, and all done.